Little too much toilet humour in yesterday's video, I'm sure you'll agree. Today I'll be different though. I don't know how though. Last night I did make a curry, and I like a spicy curry, but I was feeling particularly brave, so I bunged in another 8 whole chilies as well, and I finished off my beer from Damien. Now we are still on with Project Barry, putting the gearbox back in, and all the drive shafts and all the other bits of things to do there. I've just got told off for coming into work late, being accused of being lazy. Apparently I'm a lazy bat putting the gearbox bolts in, but being a bit clumsy yesterday, I went and kicked over my pot of bolts. Well, I had them all in the right order, so now I've got to try and find out which bolts go where. I got myself stuck again. That engine mount has to go to there, and it's not going. It's in the wrong place. I said yesterday the engine seemed to have moved somewhat, but it's moved enough so I can't move it back to where it should go. And I've tried jacking it in many different ways and it's just not going. So it's a matter of taking all this other engine mount off as well. Finally got the engine mount in place by undoing those ones and jiggling the thing around a bit. Okay. Yeah. I think I've overboiled the kettle. Dom turns up to do some Project Dom stuff, and I put down one of the 2 engine mount bolts in the process and forget where I put it. But I have found it now though. I'm just so lucky that I happened to look on top of the fridge for some reason. And I did say I wouldn't talk about toilets or anything like that today, but something's really intriguing here. First of all, look at the time, 1 o'clock. And this is the first wee I've had all today. And I've been drinking tea since I've got here, as usual. But last night, when I finally finished editing the video, and I sat down and watched a film with the missus, and I was up and down every 10 minutes. Strange, isn't it? Eh? Dom's Vauxhall Zafira with a black grille with no V badge on. Somehow this makes it not even a Vauxhall. How cool is that? Right, that's progress. Engine mounts on all around, gearbox mounted and secured, and the clutch cable also in place. Now I feel like the really awkward stuff's already done. That's asking for trouble saying that though, isn't it? What's got to come on next are the drive shafts, both sides, ball joints pops back into place, gear linkages, speedo cable, sure there's something else as well, probably is battery, that's definitely got to go back on. My tub of nuts is getting smaller. What I actually mean is the contents is becoming less and less. The tub's staying the same size. It's not going to change unless I melt it or something. Now if we look down here, we'll spot that Project Dom has gone. It doesn't look like it's coming back either. Looks like it's gone off to a new home. That'd be quite nice actually. I can do something interesting with this space now. I never even did an episode on Project Dom. It just had a name as the loiterer of the yard. Never mind. I'm sure I'll see it again at some point. Starter motor is on. Now, time for the drive shafts. I really hope these will go in as easily as they came out. Two drive shafts popped in an absolute doddle. Just as I thought I'd sorted all of the awkward stuff out, something else comes along. This little castle nut here that holds the ball joint on. As I'm turning it, the whole joint's moving with it. So the only thing I can do is try and see if it needs cleaning out or something. It's looking like I am going to complete this job before I go home tonight, and that is rather fabulous. Drive shafts on into the gearbox and bottom ball joints, and the wheels on as well. Just one thing missing so far, and that is one wheel stud. But the other day my friend Toyota came round for some wheel nuts to fit steel wheels, and I've got a feeling I might have actually given one of these. Right, okay, it's just got to find a funnel so I can put some gearbox oil back in it and refit the battery. Then start it up and see if it'll have a little drive around the yard. I always think gearbox oil smells like caramel. Right, here it is. The moment of truth. Exciting, isn't it? I'm so confident I've actually even opened up the door there so that I can start it up and drive it out. And obviously, I do not know 100% whether that will happen. But if it does, I'm going to be quite happy. Well, you just saw it drive out, and that's a lot more than it would do before, but it's slipping really badly, which is a bit odd. So that's going to need some investigation as well. That clutch just needed adjustment. My friend Mark, the mechanic next door, he managed to sort it in about 2 minutes. That's the difference between lots of experience and hazarding a guess, I suppose. So, very, very happy now. This car just needs a few little bits put back on, and then it could go up for sale. Project Barry on the market. Time to go home and have my philosophical conversation on the way back. Obviously some sort of major incident on the M62 there for all this traffic, all these trucks everywhere. Just having a chat with Andy then, just before I finished, and he asked me whether I'd do another gearbox, you know, whether I've got the buzz for it. And I've got to say, I do feel really, really pleased. I feel really pleased with myself, which is a nice feeling. It's not one I have very often, I can tell you. And, you know, initially I thought, no, I'm not going to go anywhere near another one of those things. It's taken far too long, too stressful, too annoying, and why bother? But in all honesty, if my car, Nigel, for example, was to break its own gearbox, then yeah, of course I would. I'd fit a new gearbox in it. Not a new one, a second-hand one. So maybe the answer is actually yes, I would. I'd really enjoy doing that kind of thing again. I don't know if really enjoy it is actually what I'm thinking, because the bit you enjoy is the bit when you've finished, and because you've finished you're not doing it any longer. So I'm not really sure you can really enjoy doing something when the only thing you're after is coming to the end of doing it. Thing is though, what do you learn from shying away from difficult jobs? Nothing. Unless of course by shying away from these difficult jobs you take on easier jobs that happen to be more lucrative. I mean, there are many people around who never get their hands dirty and have plenty of cash in their pockets. The only dirty thing about them is the cash. Now last night, after I posted my Project Barry video where I'd gone on about being frustrated and finding it difficult and things, and how I didn't really want to do this kind of thing again, I seem to get an awful lot of support from people being very encouraging toward me doing it. And if I'm honest, that actually made me feel quite good. It really did. As much as I say You know, I like people having a laugh at me, I do, but it's also quite nice when you get something the opposite. So perhaps I should. So perhaps I should, with this as with the other jobs I've done, just give
So on my way home, I really didn't know when to stop talking, and that's why I sped it up, because I wasn't saying anything that interesting. Although having said that, I was saying something a bit more interesting than what I am saying now.